1 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, we have the AFC North divisional matchup between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the Steelers coming into this one laying 5.5 on those opening lines. We are seeing that number ticking up to 6. Sports 411 now has posted them as a 6-point favorite. If you're looking for the Steelers laying the 5.5, make sure you jump on it now as those lines are just starting to move. Now we're seeing a total here of 48.5 at open, firing up to 49. And if you remember the last time these two teams played, on October 16th, we did see a high scoring affair with the Cincinnati Bengals winning it 33-31. So will we see another high scoring one in this one? Are we going to see the Bengals be able to get another win over the Pittsburgh Steelers? If you like the Bengals straight up on that money line to pull off 2 straight wins, you are looking at a money line price here for the Bengals coming in at plus 200 currently. So it's a great price on the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Flacco will be the quarterback, and he was the quarterback in that first game out there versus the Steelers this season. We will see what both of these teams can bring to the table. I'm going to break down the side total and some players that I am circling in this one. But before we do, let's look at what's happening over at picksandparlays.net. Now, you guys, if you're looking for plays across all sports, you want to check out the rest of 2025 from your handicapper of choice for just $8.30 a day. That deal is still going on, and it's a great one that you don't want to miss out on. So that's the rest of 2025 for $8.30 a day. You guys, that is less than my Starbucks coffee. Now, if you're looking for just football, because that does cover all sports across the board, whatever your handicapper is releasing. But if you're only looking for football and you just want to try out a weekend here, look for that Weekend Warrior package. That Weekend Warrior package is just $49. You'll get the plays in college football as well as NFL for just that $49 mark for Saturday and Sunday. And at no extra cost, your handicapper, if they release any plays on a Monday, will throw those Monday plays in for free. So head on over to picksandparlays.net to grab it. So many fantastic handicappers there. Now, as you watch this video, you guys, do me a solid, hit that like button and hit the notification bell so you do know when these videos drop. So looking at this one, the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers sitting 5-4 on the season, sitting at the top of the AFC North currently. The Cincinnati Bengals coming off a couple of disappointing losses. This team is struggling on the season 3-6, and it really does feel like their playoff hopes will die with a loss in this game. So their backs are against a wall. We know Joe Burrow is back practicing with this team, and the hopes is that he is coming out versus the Baltimore Ravens for Thanksgiving. The Cincinnati Bengals, to keep their season alive, I do think will need a win here versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're going to have to get things done. But can they beat the Steelers twice in the same season? It's a hard one here for me to look at the Cincinnati Bengals. I look at their defense and so many defensive issues out there for them that I do think if the Pittsburgh Steelers defense can come out and play a solid game, can take away Joe Burrow's first looks out there on the field and really put some chaos into this one, that we're going to see Cincinnati offensively struggle, and then their defense allow Aaron Rodgers to really play some nice deep passes to DK Metcalf for that run game to get going for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Steelers to get the win. I'm not sure, though, if they get the cover. Laying up to 6 points is a lot of points to lay in a divisional matchup here in a Sunday afternoon game, especially when the Cincinnati Bengals have already beaten the Pittsburgh Steelers this season, and we know how much is on the line. That being said, the favorites this week seem to be the way that I want to lean on the majority of these games. So I'm looking at this one, and if I had to go one way or the other, it would be the Pittsburgh Steelers laying the points. I do think the defense will bring that pressure onto Joe Flacco. They're going to take away those reads and cause him to turn that ball over. When we start to break down the Cincinnati Bengals' ability to score those points on the road, this is a team you can trust to put those points up at home, but on the road, they've had their struggles this season. Now, the defense is going to have to be careful here for the Steelers. They're going to have to not allow those looks to Jamar Chase, in which Joe Flacco was able to capitalize in the last meeting. They're also going to have to take T. Higgins out of this game, because T. Higgins, the next look there for Joe Flacco, they're going to have their hands cut out for them. Now, TJ Watt has the ability to wreck games. Look for TJ Watt to put that pressure on Joe Flacco and get to him in this one. I'm expecting him to land a couple of sacks out there. He has to be impactful in this one for the Pittsburgh Steelers to get the win. I just can't trust the Bengals defense, and that's what it comes down to. And I'm looking at Aaron Rodgers to really find Metcalf out there. Metcalf's had some down numbers over the last couple, but with Aaron Rodgers, his ability to move the ball on the defense here of the Bengals, I don't trust their secondary. You should be able to see Metcalf be a target out here for Aaron Rodgers. So I'm going to look at some Metcalf props in this one. Aaron Rodgers does have a passing prop with 232.5, while Joe Flacco coming in at 255.5. I do think both of these quarterbacks are going to be put in the situations where we're going to see that lead go back and forth in this game, you guys. I really do believe it. It's going to be a hard one for the Steelers. It's not going to be easy, even though they're at home. Mike Tomlin has to have this team ready for this AFC North matchup, but I do think he will have his team ready. Aaron Rodgers over the 232.5, you could take, but I would look at that longest pass. I'm looking for him to capitalize on the defense, the secondary here of the Bengals. I'm looking at Aaron Rodgers over the 35.5 yards for his longest pass completion in this one. You could also look at his completions, and I do think he's going to get there with it. 22.5 seems like a light number at -118. Your only fear is that they get up big in this and then you see that run game. I'm not looking at it that way. I do think Joe Flacco can keep this one competitive with Aaron Rodgers. Joe Flacco has a pass completion of 25.5. Now, they've got a little bit more of the run game going with the Cincinnati Bengals with Chase Brown, but not enough that I'm willing to trust Chase Brown to come out nice and strong in this. I do think Joe Flacco will have to air it out instead of relying on that run game of Chase Brown in this one. So if you're looking at who we should see Joe Flacco getting the ball to, we know Jamar Chase has to be a target, but I think the defense will take him away. T. Higgins has to be a target, but I do think the defense will look to take him away as well. Noah Fant here, the Cincinnati Bengals, has a short number for his receiving yards. Those tight ends have been getting the work up the middle. 24.5 is his number. I would rather look at the tight end Noah Fant here, then look at Chase and T. Higgins, because if we're looking at Chase and T. Higgins, you know the defense of the Steelers are planning for them, especially when Chase had such a great game in their last matchup versus the Steelers. And it has to be DK Metcalf here for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I will take him over the 55.5 receiving yards in this game. I'm going to look at his total receptions as well. I think he gets fed. It's over 3.5 at -182 on the books. You're going to have to go with his ult receptions in this one. 5+ receptions coming in at +124. I do think he has every ability. I'm pretty sure that Aaron Rodgers is going to be looking for him out there with the holes here on the secondary of the Cincinnati Bengals. But you guys, I like this one to go over, and I think that is the best bet of this game. Looking for those 49s, looking for the 49.5s. I do think we're going to see this one fire up as money starts to come in late. We are seeing that number continuously roll up. I'm seeing a 49.5 out there, and at time of recording, it was 49, 48.5 or 49. 49.5 just posted out there on FanDuel. So you guys get those numbers, get them in quick for this one to go to the over. If you think this is going to be a defensive battle, let me know. But I think this is one that is so tight that there's no way I could take it to the under. I'm going to roll with this one with the Pittsburgh Steelers if I can find the 5 out there. Right now, Hard Rock does have a 5, 5.5, 6 is popping up on Sports 411. So shop those lines. Be careful with it, you guys. This should be a great AFC North matchup. Let me know below this video what you're liking, who you're counting on. If you think we got another high scoring one, let me know who gets in the end zone, you guys, and hit that notification bell so you know when these videos drop. Also, do me a solid, hit that like button, you guys. It doesn't take you long. Hit the like button. That's all I ask. You guys all invest in all of your bets. Until next time, stay hot and let's make some freaking money.